Good evening, this is The Point of View. We're live on City TV. It's Wednesday night and we're happy to bring to you the show that brings you the right guests, ask them the relevant questions and get some real insights. We're live and interactive on City TV and on Facebook at the City TV GH, and our hashtag is The Point of View. Tonight, a week ago, the government announced the new producer price of cocoa, 7,600 Ghana cedis per ton. The minority and the NDC held a press conference earlier today chastising the government for robbing our poor cocoa farmers of their due entitlements. We'll find out the politics of cocoa pricing tonight with a very interesting panel. Don't go away. So following the announcement of the producer price of cocoa and following various announcements about Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire's collaborations within the cocoa sector, a lot of people have expressed interest in the developments in the sector, not least the opposition NDC. Today they held a press conference in the Buno-Afo region chastising the government for robbing the poor farmers of their due entitlements. They said based on their calculations, the cocoa farmers deserved a whole lot more. Before we bring you who our guests, I'm going to remind you of how the producer price was announced and also some issues around the 1.3 billion syndicated loan. You will first see the CEO of Cocoa Board and, of course, the Minister for Agriculture.
The producer price of cocoa is the amount that Cocoa Board pays farmers across the country for their cocoa beans. The newly announced producer price for the 2018-2019 cocoa season is the same as the price for the 2016-2017 cocoa season and the 2017-2018 cocoa season. While announcing the official opening of the 2018-2019 cocoa season, the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Osei, said the maintenance of the producer price was in the interest of cocoa farmers.
The government, in consultation with stakeholders, has decided to maintain the producer price of cocoa at 7,600 cedis per ton for the 2018-2019 cocoa season. This figure translates into 475 cedis per bag of 64 kilogram gross weight. I would like to urge all LBCs to ensure that farmers are paid at the time of the sale of their produce at the actual price of 475 Ghana cedis per bag of 64 kilograms gross weight. This price takes effect from today, Monday, the 1st of October. The producer price has been maintained to eliminate possible harsh effects on the drastic decline on cocoa prices on the earnings of cocoa farmers.
For the CEO of Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahen-Aidu, the maintenance of the producer price coupled with falling world prices will add to the debts on the books of Cocoa Board.
At the entire world market, when prices are dropping, the various countries also reduce the farm gate price. It's only Ghana that we don't reduce our farm gate price. And it will mean that you have to look for money to top up before you can buy cocoa. And for every 1 ton of every 1 ton of cocoa, you need between $550 to $600 to top up. And that's what created the 2 billion Ghana cedis gap, And this gap is there. And government has taken part, and then part is still sitting on our books, and we are trying to address it. We are in conversation with government to see how best that can be addressed. But meanwhile, the price continues to fall. It means that this year too, suddenly there will be another gap created. It's going to be a cumulative gap with the hope that the price will spring back.
But some farmers present at the ceremony expressed their displeasure at the producer price being maintained. Mr. Boahen-Aidu, while justifying the lack of an increase in the producer price, expressed confidence that the cocoa industry will continue to be a strategic pillar in boosting Ghana's economic growth with the support of all stakeholders.
Cocoa will continue to be the mainstay of the Ghanaian economy in the years ahead, serving as the biggest link between the rural economy and the formal international economy. The prospects for cocoa over the next decades are therefore very bright. With commitment of our hard-working cocoa farmers and assiduous implementation of strategic programs and policies by government and Ghana Cocoa Board, the cocoa industry will maintain its status as a beacon of hope for the development of Ghana.
So the CEO of Cocoa Board, Joseph Boain Edu, ending that report by Bobie Osei of City Business News. So who do I have on the show tonight to unravel the pricing and the politics of cocoa? Well, from the extreme left, which is to your right, I have the Deputy Minister for Agriculture in charge of perennial crops. So cocoa is his sector, Honorable Kennedy Osei Nyarko. He is also the Member of Parliament for Akim Swedru. Honorable, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Yes, first time here.
Great to see you. I also have the Managing Director of Cocoa Marketing Company, Joe Forson. It's great to have you, sir.
Nice to have me. Thank you.
And we have a coalition of Forson forces here because I also have the Honorable Cassiel Atu Forson, former Deputy Minister for Finance, a Member of Parliament for Ejumako. Honorable Cassiel, good to have you.
Thank you.
So are you relatives? Atu Forson and Joe
We are
Forson?
not related, but we know we have some connection somewhere.
I think so.
So we are both Forson. My understanding is that you came from Bunafo region because you held a press conference
At Goso.
at Goso. Why did you go to Goso for your press conference?
I think it's important to interact with the stakeholders, the cocoa farmers. It's important to hear their pain and to communicate with them as to exactly what is going on in the sector so that you can get a buy-in. And where possible, you can also get some feedback from there. I think that is the reason why we decided to go to Goso.
Because there are various cocoa growing areas. There's BA, there's Western, there's Eastern, Ashanti. Why Goso?
In fact, we went to what do you call Western region last year.
Okay.
Precisely Buedi. And then today we decided to again
Go to
change
Goso.
from Western region to Bonhafu. Don't forget Central region also grows cocoa, and my constituency grows cocoa.
Oh, okay.
So maybe next time the minority will give me the privilege to host my constituency.
So what did the cocoa farmers tell you when you went to Goso?
To be honest, they are not happy. The sense I had from the interaction, for me, I'm sad. Cocoa farmers feel cheated. In fact, they think that we are even very, very conservative. With the numbers that we put out there, they think we are very conservative and probably they think we are not doing more in talking for them. But they believe that, unlike the other strong associations like the teachers, like the nurses, they don't have a very good voice. And so they think that for us as elected representative of the people, we should be doing the talking for them. Unfortunately, they feel disappointed. They think we are not doing what we have to do. So probably we may have to do more. Because the sentiment out there, I'm not happy about it. I strongly believe that there's a lot that we have to do as people, and obviously to encourage Ghana Cocoa Board and the government to do what is right to ensure that the cocoa farmer, as we all know, they've contributed so much to the prosperity of this country. And going forward, I believe that the government...
Can you walk us through the key issues your press conference addressed? Because we have a copy of the statement, but the government announced 7,600 Ghana cedis per ton.
Yes.
And you thought that price was too low. So can you walk us quickly through how you came out with that?
Thank you very much, Bernard. Bernard, we raised 4 issues.
Okay.
And the first point relates to the exchange rate that the government decided to use. And if I may give you the details, and this one, Bernard, we've done this job before. I had the privilege to be a non-executive director of Ghana Cocoa Board for 4 years.
Okay.
And during my time, Cocoa Board was supervised by the Ministry of Finance.
Okay.
I was the Deputy Minister of Finance responsible for the finance sector of the Ministry of Finance. So the Minister responsible for Finance, the Honorable Setepe, decided to delegate the functions of cocoa to me. So I was directly supervising cocoa. To the extent that I became the chairman of the Producer Price Review Committee. So I'm very familiar with things like this. And so I decided to be part of that great committee in Parliament to peruse the issues concerned, particularly relating to the pricing. And Bernard, let me say that at the Committee of Finance, when the minister appeared before us, they gave us some indicative price guideline. And as part of the indicative price guideline, they gave us some information. We agreed that it was indicative. And so we actually signaled to the government that we will be watching going forward to find out exactly what exchange rate they will be using. And going forward, what we saw after the Producer Price Review Committee announcement, we noticed that they've used an exchange rate of 4 cedis 54 pesos to the dollar. We find that very curious. And we felt that from what we know that as the price has always been. And so remember, I was also a board member of the Bank of Ghana. So I was circling between the two.
Okay.
So in the past, I had knowledge on how this is negotiated. The ministry, the Bank of Ghana will normally sit with Ghana Cocoa Board and negotiate an exchange rate. At the minimum, they'll have to give them a spot, the interbank rate. And let me give you the Bank of Ghana interbank rate as at
in real time.
In real time. So I can go to their website and I try to pick something from Bank of Ghana website, and this is Bank of Ghana website, and I have from 2013, from January all the way going down to 2018 September. Okay, and this one is Bank of Ghana, because obviously Cocoa Board is not going to sell it to the forest bureaus. They have one.
So they have to use the Bank of Ghana.
They
can't use the forex.
No, they can't use, and to be honest, they can't do that, because if the forest bureaus are selling at 5, Cocoa Board will not sell to forest bureaus.
Great.
So they only sell to the central bank. And central bank is the only one with that ability to be able to absorb 1.3 billion.
Okay. So
the rest will not have the ability.
Based on the Bank of Ghana figures you have.
Based on Bank of Ghana figures that I have.
Yes.
From what I have here, you will notice that as of September, for instance, is 4.7655. Okay. We projected, because of the trend, that will end October. At the time that the drawdown will be hovering around 4.8 because of the trend analysis. And we use the trend, we look at the trend and then made a projection.
So it's going up. So even though it's 4.7,
even though it's 4.7,
by October,
by the time they do the first drawdown, at the minimum it's 4.8.
Okay.
And then probably the second drawdown will come if they are going to even negotiate on spot. And it's something that I've done in the past. Okay, so using 4.54 to calculate, we saw that in itself, they have shortchanged the cocoa farmer by approximately 0.26 cents. Okay, and we felt that looking at the volume and the projected 900,000 metric ton with that exchange rate, the farmer is shortchanged by $287 million.
When you multiply by everything?
Yes.
Wow.
$287 million. Okay, and that $287 million, if you are to translate it, you are talking of something about 1.2 billion, almost 1.3 billion US dollars, Ghana cedis. So we felt that in any case, if government of Ghana decided to give that money back to the cocoa farmer, we expect at the minimum the price to go up and not to maintain.
So that was your first issue. So that is our first exchange rate use.
Exchange rate use. That's our first concern.
Should I let them address that, or you want to bring
maybe
the rest?
Maybe so we'll address that
point by point.
We'll move on to
because
the
I think it makes it easier for viewers to follow. So, Minister, why did you use 4.54 when the trend of the exchange rate was going towards 4.8 to rob, according to Cassiel, our cocoa farmers, of at least how much is it? How much? 88 cedis?
Yes.
No. Yes. Okay, that's the premium.
That's the premium. So our first point is
so based on the exchange rate, how much have they cheated cocoa farmers based on your calculation?
Based on the exchange rate, from the calculations we've done, we think that they should add additional 35 Ghana cedis.
35 Ghana cedis per cocoa farmer per bag.
35 Ghana cedis. And it's 35.75 per bag.
Why are you taking the farmers 35 Ghana cedis?
From what we have done.
Well, Bernard, first of all, I think I have to use this platform to just say a very good evening to your viewers. I'm so shocked by the comment passed by my colleague Forson, former
Cassiel.
Deputy Minister. It is unfortunate that he's making such an allegation.
It's not an allegation, I made a point.
If I'm to respond to it like the way he has started, I don't think this is going to be a conversation that maybe, it's good. Sometimes I just want to move away from this.
But he's just done calculation.
I'm just, they would have been the worst culprit of all.
But is it true that...
It is never true, you see.
What is not true?
You see,
What exchange rate did you use?
Ghana, we have always, sell our cocoa using forward sales. He is aware.
Not spot.
Yes. So using spot making, if you don't have
but
the
I've
money,
not even gone to
no,
whether
see,
how
you
we
don't
sell
have
it.
the
It's
money.
the exchange
No,
rate.
let me come.
How to change the
You
money.
see, you
Let's allow. I just want to
say you
understand
are
this
using real term exchange rate. When we have negotiated and gone for the money from the potential buyers. You are sitting here using the exchange rate real time today on all those things. When did you go and go for the money? When was that?
You are talking about the loan.
Yes, and it is the
1.3
loan
billion.
that we used to buy these beans from.
But
from
when
the
did you go
farmers.
for the loan?
We have come to Parliament some way back in somewhere in June to just seek approval for 1.3 billion to go and buy cocoa beans from the farmers. You are aware.
But when will the money come?
Well, the money should start. We signed, I think it was last month that we went to Holland to conclude everything. But before, all documentation had already been done. Bank of Ghana, Cocoa Board doesn't sit in their office and determine the rate that they want to use for negotiations. It is determined by Bank of Ghana.
No, but the rate?
These are projection. Even what he is saying are just projection. What do you understand by projection?
I don't understand what you are saying. You went for a loan.
Yes.
The loan is in dollars.
Yes.
You are given an exchange rate because you are paying the farmers in cedis.
Yes.
So the date you went for the loan
is
not an issue.
The exchange rate is being determined by Bank of Ghana. So Cocoa Board doesn't determine. So if by the time,
so that's why he pointed the Bank of Ghana rate as of the time the money will be received.
and I'm saying that
It's not
even
going to
that
be
one
4.5.
is a projection. He is using, as I speak to you now, per the rate that Cocoa Board have used in doing the calculation and everything, has decided to even maintain the price at 7,600. It's 4.7. It's not the 4.54 that they are talking about.
How did you arrive at the 4.7?
How did I arrive?
No, you're saying you use 4.7.
Yes.
So then if we divide 4.7 by the 7,600, that will give us the dollar equivalent of
the market,
the tonnage.
The price, cocoa price on the world market as I speak. On the ICCO website, if you go there, you see I have it here.
What's the market price?
Just check. You are here, and this is where we sell our cocoa. Even in 1st October.
No, I want the figures, not the paper.
You see, 1st October, ICC daily price. This is where he is away. We don't sell our cocoa. Even they are selling it is going for $1,988.14
dollars.
Yes,
per ton.
Per ton. And they sell their prices. ICCO prices. Which one? This one that I'm calling from the website.
I'm also picking from the website.
Yes.
You can all Google it. We all have computers.
So I'm giving you 1st October.
So we have the average ones.
I can show to you. I'm calling.
So
I'm telling you.
Our ICCO is up to July 2018.
This is July 2018, and I'm giving you.
We get the
check
data.
it. This is October. Check it. It's here. I will not go and say, check it there. You see, sometimes
you know what?
We don't want to come here and make.
Okay, so I want you to explain how the ICCO figure translates to the 7,600 and the exchange rate you use. So,
because we are doing 4C, so you averagely you agree and peg the price at a certain point, okay? Because the price can come down or it can even go up. So in between, we have projected that in between 1,719 to maybe about $2,650. If cocoa price should go up, even in 2019, it shouldn't go above 2,650. And these are CIF prices. ICCO doesn't sell FOB prices. These are CIF prices.
We are missing two things. We are talking of the rate of the value of the currency. And you are bringing ICCO issues.
What I'm saying is,
things.
We are going to sell the beans at a certain place, and how much they are giving to us, what we are calculating the price and pay the farmer on it.
You are completely deviating. The argument here is
so
simple.
Which one is the argument?
You are
which one is
deviating on the date of the drawdown.
You see, you are
my argument on the date of the drawdown.
Listen.
You see, you are selling the dollars to Ghana.
So then what you are saying is that every time that we need to increase the price for the farmer. Is that what
let me read what I've gone to the ICCO website.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
ICCO website, they have a couple of things that they have. ICCO daily price, SDRs per ton, and then they have US dollar per ton. for October the 2nd, which is yesterday, and then you have the London futures, is the London the pound. So the ICCO daily price for 2nd October is 2068.75.
Okay.
So 2068.75.
Okay.
The day before was 1988.14.
Yes, that's first. That's what I should.
First October, 1988.14.
Yes.
And then the yesterday was 2068. So my question to you is, what informed the 4.7 that you used?
Okay, so we did a projection based on the exchange rate at the time that we were doing the negotiations. It was 4.54. And after everything, we realized that the cedi has depreciated a bit, so we need to shore up the rate so that the farmer too can get the best value out of the produce. So we decided that we'll peg it at 4.7. 4.7, and the price at the market, that the FOB price that we are using is $2,200. 2,000. If you do the calculation, the just simple calculation.
As a what date? Because what I have is 2,068, not 2,200.
Which one?
You are saying that the price,
the average price of the FOB
over what period? Maybe average has to be.
You know, the season is, we have a 1 year, so it is 2018-2019 season.
So the average. So we just put what I read on the screen. So listeners, viewers, on your top left quadrant, you see previous prices, ICCO price, but Honorable is talking about the average.
Yes, because the price of cocoa can go up at a certain point in time.
So no problem.
And because we are selling,
so you are saying the average price you used was 2,000 and what?
$2,200. That is the
per
FOB
ton.
price. Yes, per ton.
Good. Yeah. So how do you arrive at the 7,600 cedis per bag for the farm?
We are paying, and we are saying that the 7,000, normally the calculation that you do per the arrangement, you shouldn't pay less than 70% of the FOB price to the farmer.
That's the norm.
Yes, that is the norm. You don't have to pay less than that. So it's either the 70% or above the 70%. When we took over, ask my colleague here, how much did the MDP government, when we came, the price of cocoa has gone down, it has reduced, but we maintained the price at 7,600.
So the 7,600 that we gave them 2017-2018 was based on a higher price. But in 2018-2019, the price has come down.
It has come down.
And yet you maintain the 7,600, which is your
even in 2017, if like government really want to save money, government would have even gone ahead to cut that or decide to reduce the price of cocoa. But government didn't do it. Government incurred an extra cost of 2 billion Ghana cedis.
So for a couple of things, you're saying that maintaining the price actually gives the farmers more.
Yes.
Because the last year average price was much higher.
Yes.
Which would have merited that this year you should reduce
the
price.
Reduce the price that we were paying farmers. But government said no. Even with this one, the 7,000 that we are paying, it represents 73%.
What was the average price for last? I just want to hold on. I just want to clarify something. CMC.
Basically, I'm here just to open up the figures, and then the politicians will just take it.
Okay.
So let's take it in perspective.
Okay.
For last year, 2017-2018.
Yes.
The government basically had to borrow $2 billion Ghana cedis to be able to pay the 7,600 Ghana cedis producer price. 2 billion.
Why?
Because the revenue that they got was not sufficient to pay the farmers. So that's why the farmers were subsidized to the value of 2 billion.
2017.
2017-2018. Okay. The average price that was used was $2,080. The current price, as we have now, is just a 6% increase.
Okay.
Okay, from the 2018. And to think that the government borrowed 2 billion to be able to sustain the 7,600, prices have recovered only 6%. And the government still have to maintain the same 7,600. That means this year, the government will have to go into the market and borrow billions to be able to support the 7,600.
So you're saying that
Ghana basically is one of the highest, if not the highest paying country.
So you're saying the factors that determine the price is not just the average price, but the revenue you hope to get. So if your revenue is not enough, you have to borrow to subsidize.
So look at what Ivorians did, for instance, last year. The Ivorians basically reduced their producer price by 34%.
When was that?
Last year, 2017-18.
When we subsidize the two.
When we subsidize, you know what? The Ivorians reduced their farm gate price from 1,100 to 380. That's what they did. They reduced their farm gate price. Every country reduced. Ghana was the only country
last year.
Okay. And to think that every country was reducing by 34%, between 30 and 34%.
So that was a political decision by Ghana.
So
because that's the first price the MPP government announced.
Sustained.
So you don't want to, the NDC government didn't want to look bad in the first year of your administration.
Well, I'm not a politician, so I don't want to wait too much into
but I'm trying to understand why they will do 2 billion subsidy.
Yes, but then so the government basically had to subsidize farmers to the tune of 2 billion.
Okay.
To maintain the 7,600 Ghana cedis, the government will have to subsidize the farmer again to the tune of 1.something billion. You know,
because
I'm enjoying this.
So the increase in price between last year and this year is only 6%, which is not enough to merit a significant increase in the price. What do you have to say, Cassiel, about last year? And
so people may come in on the exchange rate as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I find it very interesting that we have a discussion on exchange rates. Look, even if we had used 5.5, even if you had used 5.5 as an exchange rate, it won't make any difference. Because the government still have to pump money to cocoa board to be able to pay the farmers. So the exchange rate.
So is it that we are not selling?
An issue here at all.
You are from cocoa marketing.
Yes.
How come we are not selling the cocoa at a value that can help us pay the farmers properly? What's the problem?
So
that's your question.
Basically, cocoa is traded on the international markets, on the derivatives markets.
Yes.
Okay. Based on what the market does, that's what we're able to achieve.
Okay.
Now, for the 2017-18 crop year, the market dropped by almost 40%. It hasn't recovered.
The average price that they buy from you guys.
The only recovery we've gotten is around 4-5%. As I was coming here this evening, the market price was $2,015 per ton.
Wow.
So we are still in that base. For the government to still subsidize the farmer to the tune of over 1.something billion, I don't know how much it's going to be. It's very huge. In actual fact, if you look at what Ivorians have done, they've just marginally increased their producer price as well. But they dropped by 34% last year.
So if you compare our average producer price to the Ivorian price in dollar terms,
we are $200 above them. We are actually 1,000 Ghana cedis above the Ivorians.
I'm told our cocoa is premium cocoa.
It's not about premium cocoa.
So that means we should pay our farmers more, shouldn't we?
We earn between $130 and $140 extra. So if you are selling...
Actually, they are saying that the factors that determine how much to pay cocoa farmers is not just the exchange rate, but the price,
yes,
and also how much we get from selling it.
Bernard.
It's only basis.
Let me exhaust the first point first and move on to the second.
Because I still on exchange rate too.
Yes, and it's important. And you see, you ask the question of exchange rate and they are bringing the average, which I'm going to delve there later. But most importantly on the exchange rate, Bernard, simple arithmetic. Simple arithmetic. If you are to say that you are going to sell 900,000 metric tons of cocoa, okay, at an average price of 2,200 US dollars per metric ton, and you are to use an exchange rate of 4 cedis 54 pesos, the total revenue will be 8.898. Come on, what are you talking about? This is important. This is important. You see, I'm going to digest it, and you know he's going to be exposed. You know he's going to be exposed, so he doesn't want me to go there.
So 2,000.
Even if you use the 5.8,
you made a point.
I
just want to understand the calculation. You see, 2,200 times 900,000 is equal to 8.9.
8.9. Yes. If you are to use the exchange rate of 4 cedis 54 pesos,
good,
you are to get 8.9 billion.
Yes.
Okay. But if you are to use the central bank's exchange rate of 4.8, then you are going to get 9.5. Okay. So there is difference between 9.5 as against 8.9, and that difference will give you the 514 million Ghana cedis.
Yeah, so you're saying that that's the amount they are robbing the farmers, in your view?
In our view.
That is
so that 514 million It's surplus. It is not negligible.
No, but Ben, this is a very misleading.
It is not misleading. Misleading.
Let me give you the other way around.
You have been the finance.
Let me give you another way around.
We have a lot of time. I want you to explain the calculation.
I'm not. Let me give you another point. If you are to say that today, you are the FOB is 2,200.
And my producer will try and put your calculation on the screen.
Yes.
The chart you did.
Okay.
So we just look at how it looks.
Okay. So if you look at 2,000, let me take you through. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. Okay, so if you are going to say that you are going to use 2,200
FOB price
per metric ton.
Yes.
Okay, and then for instance, you have said that you are selling 900,000.
So the calculation is on the screen for viewers. Okay. This is the
900,000
calculation.
Yes. Okay. Now you are saying that central bank is going to sell the dollar to you.
Yes.
At 4 cedi 54 pesos.
Yes.
Okay. We are saying that we disagree. Central bank cannot sell the dollar to you at 4 cedi 54 pesos.
Why not?
Why not? Because you have not even made the first drawdown. On the date of the drawdown, the exchange rate at the central bank is in excess of 4 cedi 54 pesos.
So they have to.
At the end of the day, we are projecting 4 cedi 80 pesos.
Okay.
As for October. So that will mean that we are expecting additional revenue of 514.8 million.
I see you are losing
514 million.
You are losing the point.
I'm not losing the point.
Let me make a point.
On that point. At the end of the day, you are taking the whole thing out of context.
Okay.
Okay. What is your cost?
No, I'm about to come to the cost. So let me get to the cost. I have not mentioned cost. I'm talking of revenue. Let me come to the cost.
If you had used an exchange rate of even 6.0,
yes,
it won't change anything because your cost is way higher than the 27,600.
No.
Your cost is way higher than the revenue.
You see,
it's got nothing to do with that.
You see.
It's got nothing to do with that.
Let me do something.
Let me come in.
Let me do something.
Let me come in before.
Let me take a short break because I also need revenue for my TV show. So I'll take a short break. Viewers, we are trying to understand the pricing of cocoa. I thought oil pricing was complex, but this was very serious. So we'll take a short break. I'll drink some water, and I'll come back with my guest. I have Atu Forson, I have Joe Forson, and I have Honorable. I forget your name, sir. Osei Nyarko. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Ever thought about where you'd really want to live or invest? Is it beautiful, modern, and sustainable? Is the architecture advanced with state-of-the-art facilities? What if I told you could find it only 15 minutes away from Adenta? When your hard work pays off, you need to invest in the right place. High-quality real estate appreciates in value. But the value is not just your home. It is also the area that surrounds it. Good roads with safe speed limits, drainage for even the most punishing floods, and neighborhood planning that ensures your view will never change. You can also invest in the commercial, social, and mixed business spaces, as well as Apollonia Business Park. It's time to make your move to Apollonia City. Call or visit us today. Our payment plans are tailored for you. Visit www.apollonia.com.gh or call 0275 577 577.
City TV is live. City TV is a free-to-air digital channel. On a digital TV, please press menu on your remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like GoTV and StarTimes box. Tune into City TV and experience your world. City TV, it's your world.
Welcome back.
And that buying 690.
Welcome back to the program. Trust me, it's been quite heated. Let me read a few quick comments before we continue. My guest, Atu Forson, who's the MP for Jumakun, he says it's also a cocoa growing area. He's the Former Deputy Minister of Finance, Joe Forson, is the CEO or MD of Cocoa Marketing Company. And then the Honorable Osei is the MP for Akim Swede. Osei Nyarko is the MP for Akim Swede. I have to get your name. Kennedy Osei Nyarko, Akim Swede, who's the Deputy Minister for Agriculture. Good evening, Bernard. Our style of politics is affecting the cocoa sector and the vulnerable farmers. Over the years, government has used cocoa prospects to their gain, and the panelists are aware. They are just mocking the farmers. Rex Osei, Sapon, East Legon Hills. Maxwell Ndowenya says, Honorable Forson, thank you for your words of wisdom. I now understand the difference between NDC and MPP when it comes to governance. Jem will be president, and you will be the vice. Be strong. Bernard Cassiel Forson is just trying to do cheap politics. He's courting public sympathy. This is the typical tactics the opposition has adopted. He's being mischievous. Crusader Simon. Justice Osei says, hi Bernard, do Ghana and Ivory Coast set the benchmark price of cocoa in the international market since we are the top lead producers of cocoa? Whatever price government buys from the cocoa farmers must be such that when they go to the international market, they can sell and make the gains. I think this was a point Joe Forson was making, that it's almost like a buyer's market now. The price has come down. Yeah. So I want us to clarify something. What determines how much we pay farmers is not based only on exchange rate, is it?
It is based on a number of factors.
So exchange rate is one.
Exchange rate is
What's
one.
The other one?
And that is one. And then the price, the average price, the FOB price is also one.
The pertaining price on the market.
Yes, on the market.
Which
and
is
then
free
the premium that you get is
FOB
also
means free on board.
Yes.
Premium
yes,
what?
the premium that you will get.
For the type of cocoa you have.
For the type of cocoa you
how
have.
much premium.
No, we are going to get there. And then the third point is the cost
of production.
Or the cost of production.
So exchange rate,
cost.
The premium.
The premium. The FOB price.
FOB price.
And then your cost.
So why didn't you do your calculation on the basis of all that?
I have all of that.
Okay,
I have all of that. So
but you put all of them together, or you did it separately?
I'm breaking down one by one.
So you are saying that in terms of the exchange rate, the farmers deserve 35 cedis more. What about premium?
We are coming there.
So in terms of premium...
Okay, we are coming to the premium.
Yes.
But you see, on my last point on the exchange rate, before I move on to the premium, for me, we believe that in every economy, when the currency depreciates, in the case of Ghana, when your local currency, the Ghana cedi, depreciates, the only sector that may benefit or that will have to benefit is the export sector.
Okay.
In Ghana, our largest export sector is cocoa.
Okay.
Lately, we've got oil. But cocoa is the one that benefits the farmer, the ordinary Ghanaian, the farmer. So the cocoa farmer must benefit from the strength of the dollar or the weakening of the currency.
You get more cedis
because you get more cedis for each dollar.
So depreciation helps the exporter.
Yes, it helps the exporter. It doesn't help the importer.
That's
it helps the exporter. Basic. Now, he's saying it's negligible. It is not negligible to me. Additional revenue flow of 514 million is not negligible.
So that was the exchange rate point.
So that's my exchange rate point. You can use that for cost. Tell us the type of cost you use it for, and let's make an intellectual argument. But you can't tell me it's negligible, whether it's 1 cedi or 2 cedi. I want to know how you accounted for that money, how you spend the 514 million Ghana cedis of cocoa proceeds. That's what I want to know.
Based on the depreciation.
Based on the depreciation of the currency.
So that's
that's point one. And then point two. Our second point is point two. We all know. And per the data we have available, we've noted that over the years, Ghana cocoa sells at a premium. And the premium ranges from $350.
Not true.
$350 to $500
that is complete force.
350 on top of the price.
On top of the FOB
you
price.
won't allow
Oh, come on.
That is probable lies.
You see, I'm talking from experience. Let me finish. He doesn't know.
And see, this kind of lies.
He's premium cocoa. He's jittery because I'm saying.
$130 and $140.
He's jittery. Let me make my point. And then if you disagree with me, you see, if you disagree with me, you make your point as well. But I'm making my point based on the research that we have done, based on the data available, and he doesn't want us to talk about it.
Basically, as the technical
you are not being fair.
It's not being fair.
The way we go about it is, he makes his point.
I see, Bernard. If you disagree with me, there are some lies when we want to.
Don't worry.
You don't have to allow
our viewers are smarter than that.
Allow you to go.
Let him make the point based on the data he has. then you also make your rebuttal with the data you have. And if you have extra data, we will put it up. So please allow me. So you are saying that the premium we get per ton of cocoa is how much?
You see, we are saying that per the calculations that we have done and the data available to us, clearly, Ghana's cocoa sells at a premium. And our premium is far higher than that of Ivory Coast. Our premium ranges from $350 to $500, depending on the year. And also depending on what Ivory Coast is doing.
Per ton?
Per ton.
Wow.
Per metric ton.
So, Ben, I need to clarify some points.
And then,
quick point on the premium. Quick point on the premium.
Look, the cocoa marketing company is the company responsible for the sales of Ghana's cocoa.
Yes.
They determine the premiums of Ghana cocoa. I've worked in this company for 20 years. We've never, ever achieved $350 per ton.
So what have you achieved?
What
have you achieved? What have you achieved? Tell Ghanaians what is the premium that you are getting.
You are conjuring figures.
Tell the people of Ghana what you have.
Why are you taking over the questioning from me? Just allow. Just go on. So you are saying the premium is not $350. So what was the average premium?
The average premium will be around $120, $130 max. You understand?
Okay. So you use the 120 in your calculation?
Cannot be right. It's just a probable lie. It's not true.
So by you agree you have a premium. You all admit there's a premium.
But not $350.
So his argument is premised on the premium issue. Okay. So let's assume the premium is lower. Let's go on.
I want to know. Bring you data on that.
We have
provide the data. I want the CEO who is in charge of it is telling you, and you say we've
also been there. There are two arguments. There's the substance of the argument, and then there's the amount that you use.
Yes.
You are saying that on the basis of the premium, the farmers should earn a bit more. Irrespective of what the premium is.
That's it. That's a key point. And then the amount is
how much?
Yes. So no problem. So let's assume the premium is even 120.
Yes.
Did you account for that premium in setting the price at 7,600?
And this is what I find shocking about Ato's calculation. Ato, you've been there before, so stop this. The 2,200, the premium is inclusive. How can we do calculations and take premium out? Who does this kind of calculation?
No.
The premium is inclusive of the FOB average.
Today's price.
It's never
because the price we put on the screen was 2,083.
So yes.
So you're saying that 2,200 includes the premium?
120, if you are adding 120 premium, how much?
That is not true.
No, when I looked at the figure I put on the screen was 2,083.
Yes.
Which is lower than the 2,200. So they are saying that the difference is the premium.
Let me show you how we calculate the average. For instance, if you go to ICCO website and we have monthly averages on daily prices of cocoa. So let's say we start from October 2017, okay, and then from October to the end September, we'll be able to find the average before we conclude. Let me take you through it. In September 2017, the monthly average was $1,998.30 per metric ton. October was $2,097.06 per metric ton US dollars. In November 2017, the average price was $2,127.90 per metric ton. In December 2017, the average price was $1,917.68 per metric ton. January 2017, we have here 2,122.80 metric ton. It goes on, and you have June 2018, 2,410.76. July, you have 2,357.05.
What about October?
So no, please. I'm not ending. I'm not ending. You don't want to allow me.
You end at July.
I'm really concerned about the way you are going because we have a structure for the program. So just allow.
So
you are giving him all the time.
Can you go to the?
If I may also come in.
If I may finish.
No, he hasn't finished the point.
Okay.
So your point is that,
Ben,
what month average are you using?
So you use normally to agree on the average price for the period. You look at from September 2017 to September 2018.
And you strike an average.
That gave us 2,268. That's what we had. It's very
close.
This is
simple average.
Simple average.
You didn't weigh it on any basis.
No, simple average. It's very close to the 2,200 that they use. Bernard, granted that 2,200. So we agree. We've waived off the 68.
So you're saying this cannot include the premium?
This is not this does not include the premium. The only difference, and I admit, this is an intellectual argument. We all of us checks. The only difference is that the price on the ICCO website is CIF, and this one is FOB. That's the only difference. And I agree that in the CIF,
how much do you spend? How much do you spend on insurance and freight? It should tell you the average.
The average is 5 to 7%. Please, I've done my research. I know what I'm talking about.
We also have the figures
5 to 7%.
We have the figures here. We have the
average is 5 to 7%. So it should not consume the premium.
So let's understand the issue. So you said that the 2,200 you gave could not include the premium.
So let me clarify. Okay, and I think in this forum, I talk with a bit of authority. Why? Because as I said, it's the cocoa marketing company that actually produces these figures out. Okay. Now, how did we arrive at the 2,200? These are forward sales that have been done. It's got nothing to do with ICCO averages. You should understand how the ICCO averages are calculated. It's not what I told you say. I told most of them understand how the averages, are evolved. The ICCO averages basically is like taking a sport month, okay, and then you average them out. And then you come up with this formula included. It's not the prices that pertains on a monthly basis at all. What you need to do, you can Google.
So do you sell on the spot market or the futures market?
On the futures forward market. You see, so if you like, you can
so
Google,
you can't use spot prices
our
to determine.
audiences can Google how the ICCO daily averages are calculated.
So that's the spot market and different from the way you. So when you are selling, it's the futures forward market.
What they will do, they will pick the London market the first 3 months. They will pick the New York market. Average it, use some extra way to discount. It's a whole modular formula calculation to get these averages. So it's not the traded levels. If you come to the cocoa marketing company, that's where cocoa is actually traded. We have the Reuters platform, we have the Bloomberg. Okay, if you go on the net, actually you see these prices. The 2,200 was not derived from this ICCO average.
So what was the average?
It is the total sales that have been done. Forward sales that have been done. So these are contracts that have already been secured. They average it and come out to the 2,200. As I speak now, the current price today, before I just came from the office, is $2,015.
2015.
2015. That's the New York quoted spot market. Okay. If you want to compare the average price, the average FOB, to what is trading now, and that is even CIF. Now the price that is being quoted by Ato, it's also CIF. If you average CIF to FOB, it's roughly about $100. So
let me just tell viewers that FOB is usually lower than CIF because CIF then includes insurance, freight, and other things.
Exactly.
FOB is the free on board when you bring the thing to the sea. So usually CIF is higher than FOB.
Yes.
Just not to.
So based on our calculation, then we should have been issuing 2160. You understand? Yes. So we should have things in perspective. Some of these things, we are there. Cocoa Board is there. You can always come to us for information. We'll be very comfortable.
So Atu has brought the premium points, which you've disputed, but they had 2 more points.
So the premium, I want Atu to understand, the premium is inclusive in the 2,200.
Let's agree to disagree. No problem. This is not
strongly disagree.
No problem.
Atu doesn't know about it. I'm just
strongly disagree.
Atu, I'm trying to run this on the basis of the way you arrange your press briefing. So you've dealt with exchange rates, which they've addressed. You disagree with the explanation. No problem. The viewers have their sense. You've brought in the premium, which you think should have earned the farmers more. They've said that's not how it works. But you have 2 more issues in your press.
I think with the issue of premium, we should be conclusive. If Ato is wrong, he should understand that he's wrong.
No, how can I?
But you said the premium is between 300 and 500.
We gave the 2,200. I'm saying that the 2,200 is...
So in your time, what premium did you pay to the farmers?
You see, in your
time, premium did you pay to the farmers?
We factored those premium in.
Good.
In the calculations.
Good.
But per what we have calculated is clearly, we've seen that the premium is not there.
Your 2016 price for cocoa
farmers.
Yes.
How much was the premium?
See, for 2016 price for cocoa farmers, we paid 475 Ghana cedis per bag.
No, I want per ton.
Okay, multiply
how much was the price? How much was the price?
So Ato's board was the board that instituted the 7,600 Ghana cedis per ton.
And it's been there for 2 years.
prices dropped by 40%.
That's $750.
Went ahead and maintained the same 7,600.
Is that not a fact?
Is it?
You introduced the 7,600. Is that not a fact that prices have reduced? Because that is very easily verifiable.
It's a fact the prices reduce.
Yes.
But when prices reduce, it's not only the farmer that should suffer.
But who should?
Head office should also suffer as well.
Okay, so that's your third point.
That is my third point.
Your point is that
is my third point.
Hold on. I want something.
You let him bring.
So let's go to cost. So you're saying that.
So basically,
head office cost.
Hold on.
Basically, I also want to have it on record that in Ghana,
yes,
last year, and most probably even this year, Ghanaian farmers are one of the highest paid farmers based on current prices. It's on record. You can check.
Okay,
but Ghanaian farmer also earns the largest premium. Ghanaian cocoa is the world quality cocoa. So you cannot compare that to anywhere else. Please.
But is it $120 to $140 cocoa? It is never true.
You don't know that.
It's between $120 and $140.
So you don't know that.
You don't know that.
It is not true.
You are being a deputy minister
from the data that I've got, the lowest premium we've had over the years is £120 sterling. Over the years, it's £120 sterling. But on average, it ranges from £350.
I think we've had £50 premium before.
I've not seen that.
Okay,
that will not surprise that because during your time, even when you were selling, when cocoa was selling a ton,
let me read something.
You were paying just 67% to the farmer.
We are doing a systematic show, so I just want you to allow me. I know where I'm going.
Let me speak some.
Okay, it's because he's the one alleging.
He's doing the political propaganda aspect. I have to also attack him. I have to meet him good for good. But we are politicians, so we know how the political language is, and I have to engage him on that.
I have a lot of time for you.
But let me speak some.
Please permit me. So you are saying that you have almost conceded that maintaining the price at 7,600 is actually creditable in a way, because if you set the price when the cocoa prices were a certain price, average prices have come down 40%, and they've maintained the price at 7,600.
And it's still 40%.
You are saying that, well, that's okay, but why didn't you also reduce your cost at head office? That's your new argument now.
I have 2 points over that one. One, again, at that point, premium was excluded. 2, at that point, head office cost was not reduced. So my argument is that, yes, you can maintain the cocoa price at the time, but I will not accept a loss of 2 billion. Because obviously, that premium alone could have brought in additional revenue. And at the end of the day, I was expecting that will reduce the bottom line. And then finally, on the head office cost. Yes. It's another cost that we should be concerned about. Because obviously, if prices are coming down, okay, and the cocoa farmer, as a result, is not getting an increment, or somebody is even proposing that we reduce it, then I expect that the head office as well, we should see some cost cutting there. But it's not reflecting from the data that they provided to us in Parliament. And I have the data. If you look at my press statement, okay, page 4, Cocoa Board, headquarters, the HQ, 2016-2017, the head office cost was 363,528,000 Ghana cedis. In the year 2017 to 2018 crop year, this is fully under MPP, the price moved to 537,123,500.
This is budgetary allocation.
This is actual. This is what they provided to Parliament.
This is flawed too. You will respond to him.
This is what they brought to Parliament. You see, they provided this information to us at the Finance Committee when we were considering the syndicated loan. We received it.
So you're saying
I didn't receive it. They gave it to us.
If prices of cocoa are not doing well, why are we increasing allocation for Cocoa Board operations?
Yes. And then secondly, in 2018 to 2019, the indicative figure, I requested for this when we were considering the syndicated loan, that they should give us the detail before we consider it. This is what they gave to us. They said that their indicative expenditure at the Cocoa Board HQ is 568.7 million Ghana cedis. If you were to look at it in nominal terms, we are seeing an increase of 63.9%.
Compared to 2016?
Compared to 2016. That is where our problem
But why
is.
didn't
And
you
the
show us
second point-
2015 to 2016 as
Yes,
well?
you see, because we
Because
are
it's
looking
on an
at
upward trajectory.
Yes, no, we are looking at we are looking at the terminal point.
Ben,
We are looking at the terminal point. Okay, we have to go back.
give some figures,
And then we will come back to Cocoa Marketing Board where
Well,
he heads.
yeah.
They also
where he
increase their
heads.
revenue
Yes, they
and
also
their
increase
costs.
Yes, previously. It was 74.
Bernard, some of these
So he is the head.
you
So
need to
probably
allow
he
us to
will
respond
give
to
us.
it. Some have to allow us to
So,
be
Ben,
respond.
okay, let me give the figure as this. Okay.
Okay.
The title of this table is what? Cocoa Board budgetary allocation. That is when a deputy minister for finance. So this
It's
is
not
the
the same
budget.
as
It's a
expenditure.
budget, okay? The 2016-17 figures he's quoting here were budget, okay? And this budget was done by him, okay? And if you underprovided for your own budget, why do you want to blame him? Look at the actuals. The actuals actually was 695.
Wow.
987,869. This is the actual for 2016-2017.
Atu?
No, I tell you why I know.
So the 363 was the budget you did.
see-
You didn't do your budget properly.
So you spent more than the 363?
No,
It's
I
695.
tell you why.
These are the
I
figures.
tell you why it's not accurate. Anytime they are coming for syndicated loan, obviously they have a responsibility to give us the outturn of the previous one. At least it will be only 1 month left.
Cocoa Board financials is public anyway.
So they will give it to us, and then they will give us indicative expenditure for the next crop year. So this information we gather them from the finance committee.
So compare the actuals.
Everything that they give to
compare the
us.
actuals
Yes. So
against,
this is against what they gave to us.
Now, Bernard,
Your own budget, what you
Bernard,
gave to us. That's
before
all.
you go,
They're in
you
the
see,
parliamentary
that-
hands.
you see-
What's your comment?
Before you go,
They're in
you
the
see,
parliamentary hands.
I'm surprised the former deputy finance minister, who happens to sit on the Cocoa
Don't
Board,
be surprised.
is making such a wild allegation. I mean, most of the things that he has said here are untrue. They are probably lies and propaganda. He knows it. And this one is not going to change anything. He is talking about the administrative cost that has gone up. If you estimate or you make a projection that at the end of the day or the year, you want to buy about 850,000 metric tons of cocoa, but you ended up buying 968,000. When you buy those extra, about 160,000 plus cocoa bean, ask him, where do you keep it? Don't you keep it in a warehouse? Who takes care of it? Those extra costs,
So your cost will
you
go
have
up.
to fumigation and all those. Your cost will go. Trucking, you have to pay
So
the
they're
LPCC.
under-budgeted. They're
You see,
under-budgeted.
they are under-budgeted. And we are teaching him. He did it. Now you come on public platform like this, you start talking like this.
What
you said is even worse.
So if you want to
What you said is
if you want
worse.
to have the figures, okay. The actuals for the 2016-17 was 695.
Wow.
For the 2017-18, that he's calculating as 63.91 was actually lower. It was 447.
Wow.
Interesting.
These are actual
And then
figures.
go on.
These are public information.
And okay, let me do something. Luckily for me, I have the state ownership report for 2017.
Okay.
Good.
And I have Cocoa Board. So for your operations, financial performance, revenue for Cocoa Board increased from 9.2 billion in 2016 to 10.2 billion in 2017, representing an increase of 12%. The increase in revenues did not reflect positively on the company's profitability. The net loss of the company increased from 199.4 million in 2016 to 394.85 in 2017. So the net loss of the company increased. But there's an interesting point here. This was a marked improvement on the astronomical increase in losses reported by the company between 2015 and 2016. This is your time. The increase in losses reported by the company were a result of increase in cost of sales, administrative costs, and finance costs. So what this annual report is saying is that in his time, they made a loss. But in your time, you made a bigger loss. That's what they're saying.
Which year is that?
No, this is the annual. This is 2017.
2017.
2017.
Okay.
So they've given me 2015,
Okay.
2016, 2017. Okay. So revenue is increasing.
But Ben, before you go there,
but losses.
We have to be conclusive on certain points. Okay,
Yes.
we need to understand that this is a 3.9%. Does not exist. Where the cost for actually 2016-17 was way higher than even 2017. If there's anything, it should be positive. Okay.
Yeah.
So the 63.9 does not exist.
Joe,
and you know it.
You don't have to convince me.
Okay.
You don't have to convince me.
I'm not a politician, so I came here basically to give the figures. Then the two of you basically
I'll take this data from the Hansard based on what.
No, but I'm saying that based on the annual report we have here. I'm just asking. So I'm saying that there are two problems. Under MPP, even though revenue is increasing, you are still making losses. But
we are subsidizing the
they are saying that the losses they are making are smaller than the losses you made.
Yeah.
You made higher losses. Why are you making higher losses?
You see, we made a very important point as to compare the cost in previous years, and that is what we are trying to establish here. We have never said that in the year 2015, 15-16, we never made a loss. We never said that. We admit we made some
prices were $3,000 at that time.
But let me tell you something.
But
let me tell you, it also depends on the number of cocoa beans you buy.
How much do you buy? Average of 700,000 metric tons.
That is what increase your bottom line.
You bought less than 800,000.
Yes, we bought
690,000.
No.
Guys, hold on.
They went for $1.8 billion to buy almost about 850,000. They ended up buying 690.
Yes.
Asking where
So they went for a higher loan.
Yes.
Bought a smaller amount of cocoa. And they enjoyed a bigger price.
Yes.
And still made a bigger loss.
And there was so many money.
Is this correct?
No, it's not correct.
I'm trying to understand something.
Let me take you through this. In the crop year, 2016-2017, don't forget the crop year start first week in October.
Yes.
And sometimes in June. At that point, you will know that more or less investment will be made over a period. So the crop actually starts, and then you take the cocoa from there. We had bumper harvest. Okay. As a result, we had more revenue. Obviously, the amount of revenue you get in, you have to use that to defray some of your costs. So clearly, we had total tonnage was 967,400 metric tons. For 2016-2017, you obviously expect a lot more revenue than the previous year when you had about 800,000 metric tons.
Can I clarify a few points?
So, but how come your amount you went for
so therefore,
from the syndicated was 1.8?
No, we went for 1.8 previously.
Two times.
We went for 1.8 because at the time you needed more to buy the cocoa. We did not go to Bank of Ghana and borrow at that rate.
And bought less.
But what you are forgetting here is that under the administration, they go for 1.3, go to Bank of Ghana, borrow more expensive, very expensive. That is why you see financing costs going up. Previously, crop financing in 2016-2017 was 164 million. It moved up in 2017
so the
to
cost of finance is going up.
million.
Let me make a quick announcement.
Going up. That is the cost.
We have half an hour to wrap this up. I have a lot of messages. I'm just going to give him a quick reaction to this, and I'll take a break.
Let me just come back. So 2016-2017, October, Atos board took a facility of $1.8 billion. By the time his government came to power in January, all the 1.8 billion was gone.
Wow.
Zero. I mean, the cocoa could have issued a 2,000 Ghana cedi check to bounce. There was nothing in the coffers. Zero. Now from January,
between October 2016,
between October 2016 to January
2017,
by the time his government assumed power,
none of the 1.8 billion was left.
Everything was gone. So now between January and September, the cocoa board had to find money to buy cocoa, else the cocoa will rot.
How much cocoa beans were bought with the 1.8 billion?
You had bought less than 500,000.
Yes,
less than 600,000 tons.
Yes.
Okay,
less than that.
Bought less than 600,000 tons
with 1.8
So now the 367,000 tons that was in the bush, what money was supposed to be used to buy that cocoa?
So you went for money from Bank of Ghana.
So there was no choice.
How much did you go for?
1.3 billion
to buy 300,000.
To be able to buy that cocoa, but the 1.8 billion should have bought all the Naira states easily.
But if 1.8
at that time
billion
prices
is buying 600,000,
the average price was over $3,000 per ton.
They were even using 2,950.
So you had 967,000 tons. The average price was over $3,000. the total value was over 2 billion. Okay, the money was gone by January. So
hence the loss recorded.
From January, you have to take 1.3 billion, else the cocoa will rot.
We will come back and look at productivity within the various regimes
but
as well.
When you come, you have to
and also address other issues of, for example, we're told Ghana Cote d'Ivoire is now trying to set similar prices, and also we are talking to Alibaba to buy our chocolate. So there are a few more things to do. I have a lot of messages to read as well. This is the point of view. We have a few more minutes to go, so don't go away. Stay tuned.
Ever thought about where you'd really want to live or invest? Is it beautiful, modern, and sustainable? Is the architecture advanced with state-of-the-art facilities? What if I told you you could find it only 15 minutes away from Adenta? When your hard work pays off, you need to invest in the right place. High-quality real estate appreciates in value. But the value is not just your home. It is also the area that surrounds it. Good roads with safe speed limits, drainage for even the most punishing floods, and neighborhood planning that ensures your view will never change. You can also invest in the commercial, social, and mixed business spaces, as well as Apollonia Business Park. It's time to make your move to Apollonia City. Call or visit us today. Our payment plans are tailored for you. Visit www.apollonia.com.gh or call 0275 577 577.
Welcome back. This is the point of view. Tonight we have a very interesting panel. Honorable Kennedy Osei Nyarko is the Deputy Minister for Agriculture in charge of perennials. That's cocoa and cashew and coffee and those things. He's also MP for Achim Swedru. We also have Joe Forson, who's the Managing Director of Cocoa Marketing Company, the state agency that sells our cocoa. And then, of course, Honorable Cassiel Forson, former Deputy Minister of Finance and MP. He's on the Finance Committee. He's joined himself to the Agri Committee. He flew down from Gosu today to come and speak on this program. Here are some comments coming in. Bernard Atu is throwing dust into the eyes of the public. What he's doing is simply playing politics. His appreciation of the issues is so rudimentary that it can only pass for propaganda. You don't add your name. Rex says, Atu Forson is always confused. You should take his time and review the documents. He may have good point, but he puts forward wrong figures. The MP would be singing the same song as Atu when he finds himself in opposition. That's Ghana for you. This is pathetic. Bernard, what show are you moderating? You are allowing Atu only to deceive the uninformed section of the public. He is spewing lies written all over his face. It's a shame. The ICCO price daily for cocoa beans is the average of the quotations of the nearest 3 active futures trading months on ICE Futures Europe and ICE Futures US at the time of the London close. This is Rex. It is clear that Deputy Minister does not know much about the cocoa sector. He should stop interjecting. Bernard, note that the 1.3 billion is only part of the expected total revenue. Exchanging only the drawdown of the 1.3 billion to determine the farmer producer price is not correct. The sales revenue used to determine the producer price had been done way back in the year in forward sales, when the exchange rate had been projected at 4.54. Atu Forson, if that is your argument, cocoa should have been sold under NDC at 8,500 cedis. And Bernard, I think you are biased towards Atu Forson, Robert. No, it's because it's becoming 2 against 1, so I have to balance it sometimes. Bernard, please, the MPP minister is making noise. Ghanaians are listening. My name is Ebusa Jackson Dilano in Cape Coast. Okay, so look, there's a lot of comments. People don't like the way we are interjecting. Bernard, Mr. Atu Forson is being mischievous and doesn't want to learn. He is the only one trying to make sure his own data is accepted. He started by quoting figures which were not current. He's the only one not in sync with figures that are already out there, which a lot of us viewers can read for ourselves. The politics on his part is tainting the integrity of the program. Chris Kofi Kumsin from Spintex. Why can't we allow the farmers to sell their cocoa to whoever they choose? Cocoa Board's monopoly has to be broken. The cocoa farmer has been cheated for far too long. Government knows why they won't let go. They are all benefiting. Okay. So I think people have said a lot of things. I just want to take your final point on your press conference. You had 4 issues.
Yes.
The exchange rate, the premium, and then the cost.
Yeah, the cost, and then the final one is the cost of living.
Cost of living.
Yes.
I think it's withdrawn the cost.
Yes.
The cost.
No. I've not withdrawn. How can I withdraw it?
Based on
That's my point.
But you use projected.
Yes, we've talked about the.
But he's using actual, which have debunked.
You see, I made a point that we picked this document, obviously, from the parliamentary Hansards.
So these figures are
the
actuals. You don't have the actuals.
You see, and I said that at any point in time, Cocoa Board updates these numbers.
But you could have called us, would have given you the same figures.
No, they updated.
We all
it has already been updated by the ministry.
So you should have.
I want you to address your final issue. Your final issue is what?
Point is cost of living.
Cost of living.
Yes. And we are saying that we live in this country. Cost of living is going up. And we know fuel prices are going up. And obviously it affects a number of things. Cocoa price per bag 2 years ago was sold at 4 cedis 75 pesos. If you were to use the consumer price index, the CPI, and deflate, you will notice that the value of 475 Ghana cedis has reduced by 22%. Using the CPI. And on that basis, what we are saying is that what 475 Ghana cedis can buy today, in today's terms, you will need about 580 Ghana cedis to buy it. It has reduced by 22%, the strength of the producer price. And so therefore, whilst we've seen a trajectory where prices, the cost at the head office is going up, we are not seeing a corresponding increase at the bottom line for the farm gate. And what our point is that government is being insensitive to the cocoa farmers. In the sense that if you think that the price is going up to the extent that Cocoa Board may end up actually incurring losses, then we expect the top also to cut accordingly. Today, we heard not long ago that the minister responsible for food and agriculture, Cocoa Board, is building a house for him worth 1 million Ghana cedis for him to use as his official residence. And we know where the house is. And I can give you where the house is. If you were to go to Ridge,
is this true?
Behind NTHC. Behind NTHC.
You see, Bernard.
A newspaper published it.
Bernard.
Cocoa Board has refused to respond to the matter.
Bernard,
So you are still making a cost argument?
We're making a cost argument.
Minister,
So based on that,
please
we expect that
I want you to respond to that.
see,
He's saying the cost is high and
it's not even about the cost. I am at the ministry, and I know where the minister lives. Okay, minister lives in his own house.
They are building for him.
You see, I'm the minister in charge of cocoa. So if there is anything going on, I should be the first person to even know before the minister gets to know about it. I am not even aware. This is the first time I'm hearing that Cocoa Board is. And see, this is part of a ground agenda by the NDC just to throw dust into the eyes of the public. And you see, that is why I keep on saying that we cannot continue doing our politics this way. It is the general public that suffers.
But we know
okay, you can't come here and say that Cocoa Board is building a house worth $1 million.
The initial cost was
when the minister lives in his own house. Is the house belongs to government? I don't know. He is saying it. I am not aware. I have not come across it. I've never seen any documentation concerning it. He alone in opposition have seen it. And he should tell you.
We can provide you the location of the property, and you do your
as for location, you have been doing it before. You can go and stand. You have done it before. You did it to Kufuor, so you can go and stand here. So this is Kufuor's house. This is this man's house. You have done it. It's not something new.
So let's talk about. We've brought the cocoa industry under agric, under NDC. Previously it was under finance. What benefit has this change brought to the cocoa farmers?
Bernard, before I go to, I just want to clarify just some few points. Okay. They are the ones who introduced the 7,600 in 2016-2017 season, cocoa season. I want you to ask Forson, Honorable Forson, how much percentage of the FOB were they paying to the farmer? They were paying just 67%.
No, it's not correct.
But it's here, the calculation is here. It's just here. You pay what? It's here.
Your handwritten calculation, you want me to accept.
But you see, I say handwritten calculation. You paid 67. You even told the farmer or Ghanaians that you were reserving 5% as stabilization fund in terms of any shop you used to shore up the price. Ask them. By the time that's why Forson was telling you. By the time they left office in January 2017, they've chopped everything. They've chopped everything from the coffers. And you come and sit here under President Akufo-Addo and the MPP administration. In 2017-2018 season, the price, we maintained the 7,600. Do you know how much it represents in the FOB price? 83%. That is how come the government went to borrow extra 2 billion to come and show up to help the farmer. As you speak now, even if I should go by his argument that even the exchange rate the Bank of Ghana is using is 4.54%, not the 4.7%. It means we are paying the farmer 76% of the FOB price. Compare the two governments, his administration and the MPP, who is cheating who? If your government is paying, let's even assume they paid even 70% to the farmer, as he claims. You pay 70%. We paid 83% last year. We are paying 76% this year, the two of us. If we are to find out who is a thief, then definitely
has output of cocoa increased under MPP?
That should have been the question. Yes. When we came, even in 2017, we have made 2018, we made a projection of 850 metric tons. At the end of the day, we have achieved, with that small money, with that 1.3 billion that we went for, we have been able to make 968,000 metric tons. How much is the difference? In essence, they went for 1.8 billion. This big money in sacks. But I should tell you, big one. They went for it. When they were leaving office, they have used that money to buy only 600. It was not 690,000.
Interesting.
They left. So you go for this big money.
So the increase in production, can it change in a year, or is it based on? Because I'm also told that as we speak, there are lots of old cocoa trees.
Because they did little. They did little. Under President Akufo-Addo, even when they were doing the mass spraying, look at how they were doing. They were doing it tot. Me, my mom left me a cocoa farm, big one for myself and my sisters. So I know about this cocoa. They were doing it tot. When this government came, we added additional 3 pests to it. Pruning. We added the hand pollination. We were doing it. Go to some farms now and find out the effect of the hand pollination. As you speak, during the time, we are expecting that a hectare of cocoa farm will give you an average of 450 kilograms. Per the hand pollination that we are doing now, and the pruning that we are doing, and the mass spraying that we are doing, the extensive one, we are expecting that the same hectare should be giving 1,000 metric tons, 1,000 kilograms.
So there's more productivity.
There's more productivity, so on the same farm.
Okay. I'll come to that. I just want another point. You had a meeting with Cote d'Ivoire, September 11 and 12. There were 2 meetings between Agri Minister and the Ivorian equivalent that you determine the price floor for selling. But he's telling me here that the futures market, the prices are lower than we expected and been low. Is it that it's too early to expect that kind of collaboration? Because Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire together are the 2 largest sellers.
Yes.
How come we've not been able to influence the global market price or stop it from falling? Or is it too early?
Well, you know, the market for the sale of the beans, I mean, if you want to assess the value of it, I mean, it is not as the value for the confectionery market, which values almost about 100 billion. That is why we have said, the government is saying, that in order for us to realize the full value of our produce, then we should make sure that we process more.
I understand, but I was asking a question because when Joe was talking, he was talking about the fact that the price globally is suffering.
Yes.
And the price is lower 40% than it was last year. And I'm saying we in Cote d'Ivoire have said that we need to be, we can't be price takers, right? We must influence the price. So, for example, oil OPEC, they can decide that they're going to reduce output to jack up the price. How come we haven't been able to, in spite of our communication with Ivory Coast, created even a shortage on the market to boost up the price?
So basically, I mean, there are a couple of scenarios being looked at. Okay.
Yes.
It's not very easy for agri producers to come in and try to control output. With oil, it's basically sitting in the ground, so you can basically control it. With cocoa, it's a tree crop. It grows, it fruits, and you need to harvest. But then there's been this collaboration between the two presidents, and they're very intent on this collaboration. So Cocoa Board and the Ivorian counterparts meet every quarter. We were looking at the idea of trying to come out with some kind of floor price. But for us to be able to do that, first we need to understand the cost of production from each country. So it's a work in progress. We started this collaboration about a year ago. We've been at the mercy of the derivatives market for all these years. For us to be able to make any impact on the derivatives market, we need to take our time and make sure that we come out with a proper concept. So by and large, we are in the formative period of trying to come out with certain measures. In terms of research, there's a lot of collaboration between the Ivorians and their Ghanaian counterparts. And, a lot of collaboration between the two countries with time, we think should have some impact on the prices. Processing, of course, we think that the value of cocoa is in the final product, the confectionery, as the Honorable Minister said. So there are moves between the two countries, which is being supported by ADB.
But CPC, your sister company, is struggling still.
Yes, so as I said...
they are making massive losses.
Well, I mean, it boils down to finance and cash flow. You understand? So basically, the ADB facility, if it becomes available, these are some of the areas that the two governments intend to explore to be able to provide working capital to the local factories which are struggling. And by so doing, we think we should be able to process more cocoa, add more value, and...
Explain something quickly to me. Why Cocoa Board is highly leveraged, I'm told. They rely heavily on leverage for their operations. What's the relation between Cocoa Board and CMC?
So CMC is a fully owned subsidiary of the Cocoa Board.
Okay.
They own CMC 100%. CMC basically is the agency that does the trading bit of Cocoa Board's job. So it's a company owned by Cocoa Board.
It does trading. And produce buying, what does produce buying do?
So PBC, produce buying, used to be the buying, the internal marketing wing of Cocoa Board until it went private and got listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange.
So
so PBC is not part of the Cocoa Board umbrella now.
It's a licensed buying company.
It's a licensed buying company.
They are private?
It's a private company.
So no relationship with Cocoa Board?
No.
So it's CPC, Cocoa Board, and CMC. These are the three relatives.
So Cocoa Board will have a lot of subsidiaries.
But I understand CPC owes Cocoa Board.
They
owe money because they buy the cocoa. I think they are giving some of the cocoa and they have to pay for it and they don't have money to pay.
I mean, there's a long history of debts, but I think Cocoa Board is trying to...
no, because I spoke to Ajenim Boate and he was saying essentially that if they would make it easier for them from the Cocoa Board side, then they can process more cocoa and make more money to pay their obligations to Cocoa Board. As
I said, it boils down to working capital. If you deliver cocoa to CPC,
yes,
they should be able to pay because eventually the money will be used to pay for the facility.
Now let me come to Atu. Atu, I know you want to address something, but I'm trying to get some general points. What was the most important thing the NDC did for cocoa to set the industry? Because the NPP is saying they are talking to Ivorians to set the minimum price floor. They are talking to Alibaba to allow us to sell our cocoa products. So these look like transformative things they are doing. In the 8 years of NDC, what was the most important reform you brought into the cocoa sector?
Let me start from the processing part. Under President Mahama, we were able to invite a number of processing companies to come to Ghana and obviously to set up a processing plant. Barry Caribou and then the rest. Okay, and that is where we believe...
Even though they are foreign owned?
Even though they are foreign owned.
Olam and Co.
Olam and Co. You see, in the value chain, it's very important. Create jobs, bring some foreign exchange home apart from what you put out there.
When Caribou started in 2002.
Yes, but
so that couldn't be you.
But they did others as well. Bali Caribou, they extended.
They did something in Kumasi.
Yeah, they did something in Kumasi.
No,
was it Ola?
They didn't do anything in Kumasi.
There was a big announcement where Otunfo went to open some cocoa processing factory.
So that factory was commissioned by Honorable Azikosei as well.
Yes.
But apart from Bali Caribou, there are others that the NDC, and there's one Ghanaian company plot, for instance, started under NDC.
That's true.
You see, and a number of them.
So you feel that even if they are private and foreign, once they are processing here,
it's very important because
we get foreign exchange.
Yes, you get foreign exchange. The companies are registered here. They pay corporate income tax. They contribute to the economy. They employ Ghanaians.
Okay, so that's an important point.
That is an important point.
Here in the free no,
but free zone that doesn't mean they are 100% exempted. Don't forget.
No, you said corporate tax.
Yes, of course.
They don't pay corporate tax.
But they pay some corporate tax because the element that they sell in the Ghanaian economy, they pay some tax.
No, but then that's not foreign exchange. If it's a free zone company, they are meant to export. So it means that we are not making anything from that.
Check the Income Tax Act. Check the income tax, the ITA. There are elements that the country, the company sells into the local economy. Sometimes there may be rejected items. Sometimes there may be something that will not be able to.
But that's not foreign exchange, right?
No, it's some form of. No, but the company gets some foreign exchange, obviously.
No, but if it's a free zone company, it means that it's exporting, and it's not paying tax.
Yeah, no, it's.
So what's the benefit to us?
I disagree when they say they don't pay any form of tax.
Nobody said that. You said corporate tax.
I disagree.
So surprised that the free zone don't pay corporate tax.
I strongly disagree that they don't pay any form of tax. They pay.
No. You said corporate tax.
The information I have from 2012 is that 30% of our cocoa beans is processed here. 70% is sold raw. How has that figure changed within the past 5 years?
I think you'll be wrong to make the generic argument that 70%. It depends on the production for the year.
No, on average. So this information I have is from the enterprise map of Ghana. It says that on average since 2008 to 2011, 30% of our cocoa is processed locally. The rest is sold.
But Bernard, let's look at before what was the average that we process and the average that we sell out and draw that conclusion. I don't have that data. I don't have that data to be able to say that previously it used to be, let's say, 80-20, and we moved it from that to that. But I strongly believe that something changed as long as...
So your main policy was encouraging foreign private companies to...
Not only foreign. Not only foreign. They are Ghanaian companies. Prots is a Ghanaian company.
Plot is Ghanaian?
It's a Ghanaian company.
Okay.
So encouraging companies to come in and to help in the processing value chain.
ADM is Ghanaian or foreign?
I think ADM is a foreign company as well. Maybe
I see. So that's the most important.
If that's what
most important policy.
In spite of that, what benefit the ordinary cocoa farmer? What benefit the ordinary cocoa farmer? We started working on the cocoa roads.
Cocoa roads?
Yes, and we invested heavily.
I'm told some cocoa roads were in Ashaman. Well, and in cantonment.
Not that time aware.
I mean, if you want the figures,
not that time
Hackman said on City TV a few years ago that he was surprised to find that so-called cocoa roads had been done even in a place like Ashaiman. I thought cocoa roads were supposed to be done. He said the cocoa road money was used to build roads in Ashaiman.
Well, not that I'm aware of.
But Ben, let me clarify a few points here. So I'm actually talking about cocoa roads.
Yes.
No, but I've not even landed.
I need to clarify. You can make the points very well. When this current administration came in, that is the cocoa water management came in, the outstanding bill on cocoa roads alone was over 5 billion Ghana cedis. So basically, they ordered the contracts they didn't pay. And it's still sitting there as we speak.
5 billion.
How much was paid? How much contract was awarded and how much was paid? Ben. Ben, he worked at CMC. So obviously he's working at the trading wing and he doesn't know what actually happens. Let me make an important point. Ben, the previous NDC administration instituted a policy, and the policy is to ensure that we invest a minimum of $50 million US. $50 million US on cocoa roads over a period of 5 years. That was the policy.
250 million for 5 years, yeah.
That was the policy. Okay. Now, obviously, you will not need 1 year to be able to construct the roads. contracts are awarded on a multi-year commitment basis. So, for instance, if you are to award a 100-kilometer road to 2 contractors, they will need maybe 3 years to be able to do it. So, if you are to conclude that because they awarded contract of 5 billion and say that it's outstanding, though they've not finished the work, and so you have decided to say that you have truncated the policy and the revenue flows are not coming in.
We have a minute. We have a minute to end the show.
It is wrong.
We have a minute to end the show.
Let me end quickly. Bernard, I just forwarded a document from my phone to you on the issues that I raised on the premium.
We are going back to premium.
You know, I raised the issues and I sent it to you to make the point that premium exists. And in the case of Ghana, we have an amount of 355.
So you've gone back to the premium issue?
Yes, and so because we are concluding it. And I'm saying that based on the evidence before us, we are not satisfied with the amount that the cocoa farmer is getting.
Okay.
We are not satisfied with the exchange rate that is used.
Let me ask Kennedy the last question.
Wrong.
Are you sure that farmers will keep faith with you?
Let me clarify this before we
in 30 seconds.
30 seconds. I'm a technocrat. I'm not a politician. The figures you are putting out, it's a lie.
You are speaking like one, so say
maybe
that
I'm training myself. You know. The figures I'm putting out is a total lie.
The premium figure?
It's a total lie. Basically, we generate the premiums. I'm telling you on authority that your figure is wrong.
So, like you are saying,
yes, I'm saying finally, if it's okay.
Yes, they should, because if Ghana government is paying 1,000 Ghana cedi difference higher than what Ivory Coast is paying to 8 farmers,
but the 2 cocoa are not the same.
Oh, but if they are not the same, but we sit here and make our
let me end with 2 comments.
Let me end with 2 comments. They are listening to Ivory Coast to say.
Bernard, kindly tell Atu Forson that Barry Kalibo was set up and started operations in Ghana in 2001 and not under Mahama, as he's claiming. Bernard, you were the MC at Barry Kalibo's 15th anniversary celebration dinner at Golden Tulip last year, so you know. This is a message from a former employee of BC called Richard. And then let me end with a couple more. Maxwell says the Cocoa Roads is a good initiative which was mismanaged. He also said youth in cocoa consumed a large chunk of cocoa board funds, and the results are manifesting in the increased cocoa farms output and even a migration of the age bracket of cocoa farmers from aged to youth. Thank you. I've been talking to Kennedy Osei Nyarko, Honorable MP for Achim Swedru, Cassiel Atu Forson, MP for Ejumako, former Deputy Minister for Finance. Kennedy is Deputy Minister for Agric. Joe Forson is the MD of CMC. My name is Bernard Avle. Thank you for watching. We wish we had more time, but please stay in touch with City TV, and good night. Thank you.
The Point of View is sponsored by Apollonia City,